yourself for the record, please.
My name is Mark Kaburski, and I work with Meyer Design.
And Mark,
Kuberski.
you previously sworn,
Yes.
and you recognize you continue to be under oath.
Yes.
All right, now, on the occasion of the last meeting, you appeared, and there were some issues that were raised for you to address.
Sure.
Rather than me ask you questions, I'll let you address each of those issues as you see.
Can you go through a list or do you want comments? So the one item that was brought up was a question on the patios of the building and how many there are around the exterior of the building. And on the floor plans, these boxes right here. And I also had this electronic. There was a question about showing stuff on screens.
Yeah.
I have a flash drive that.
We are not set up for that tonight, but in the future, that would be great if you could, we'd have to bring a laptop.
It has to be a laptop, not a flash drive. Is that how it works?
I can keep that, yeah. So if you guys could reach out to Robin during the week and do it so we can get the stuff up on the screen and we can back.
Okay.
Do that. Okay. But right now, just throw your stuff up on the easel and just keep it out so everybody in the public can see it.
Correct. And so I just wanted to point out, the way of this. So on the.
Is this part of
This was part of the original exhibits, and the everything was submitted to you as packets. So this is exhibit EX number 1.
The colors included?
Yes, the colors all included in the stuff.
So just identify the sheet number and the date.
This is EX 1, and it's 8/20/2024. I just want to point out where the patios are. The rectangles on these units are the actual locations of the patios. And there's a question of size, and the patios will be 6 foot by 14 foot. And that's typical for the units that receive that. It will only be the assisted living and independent living that receives those patios, and there's only a small percentage of each that get them. Memory care is not yet.
Let me explain what's going on here. They're having a meeting for the property where the tunnels and tombs are here in Roxbury, where the ex-slave soldiers' bodies are. They're going to rob and bulldoze the rest of them. Because in 2007, there was a mansion that was torn down. I'm here to fight to save national treasures. But these politicians want to bulldoze.
Units that'll get patios. That's 66 independent patios.
And they're discussing what they're building over the top of the tunnels.
Now, you recall last
Of
time,
national treasures. It's really sickening.
the board chairman said
They don't give a
that
shit.
he wanted the public to be able to understand the drawing of what the building would look like. With respect to the patios, are those patios visible from outside the building?
From outside the building, they're around the perimeter of the building. There is a number of them that are inside the courtyard areas. So inside of here, a number of patios in here will never be visible from anyone outside of that. There's 2 on this side here, so there's not many, and this is the farthest point away from the building, so there's not a lot of patios facing residents. And across the back here, memory care has none on the lower floor, and on the upper floor where assisted living falls, there's 3 on this side of the building with assisted living. So it's not a lot that's really facing residents. And then again on the sides, where inside these courtyards have more patios. So they're not all around the outside of it. And then we have an image. This is an existing patio for the other facility that Brian has done, and you can get a sense from the images. I can pass these around of what a typical patio will get on it, which is nothing more than a chair and maybe a table for a resident to have coffee in the morning. It's not really.
These township officials don't want to recognize that there's tunnels with bodies in it. They're going to build over it. It's really pathetic. And they're planning out the bleeding part to build over everything. George Washington and Lincoln used these tunnels.
AEX 6. I have a couple of these if you want to pass them.
Could you describe to the record what that shows?
What that shows is that's typically what the patio will have on it, and a typical patio of what you would see at a facility.
I have a question. Comment and then go.
This This
Yours are 6 by 14.
is where they're going to build
Open, I'm looking at like probably a 6.
1,000-foot tunnel system, national treasures.
This one's a little, a little less, not quite as wide. These will be a little bit wider.
And so even if I shoot through these.
That guy, he would let me speak last meeting.
Center.
Yeah, yes.
He's a builder,
6 by 14.
just like my
That's
neighbor
right.
was.
The patios
He
are
was a
basically
mayor,
each other
too.
would have a separate wall.
Roxbury.
Just like this, but they would be probably double the size.
Correct. That was patios were only 8 by 6. They're about 9 to 10 feet wide. Those. And again, like the sign on the wall on the exterior elevation. These are where the patios are located, and it's a simple patio with the railing.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Vincent, private.
Sir, could you give us the number of balconies facing southwest?
The rear,
Southwest side,
facing the front.
facing southwest. The number of balconies facing southwest. That would be facing east.
That would be the side.
The main entrance side. Correct. So there's 6 across the independent living side across here, and 6 times 3 stories.
18 total facing southwest. And how many balconies face the neighborhood behind the facility? I think you identified 5.
Correct.
5 total number?
And that's the challenge with the ones in the back. There's a lot of them, if you say the rear of the building, there's a lot of them that are in the courtyard, so they're in the back, but they won't be visible because they're inside of this area. But there's 2 by 3 stories, so there's 6 total on that side.
So 66 base in front. No, facing. Well, reading your maps, it's a total of 84. You're saying 80.
There's 66 independent living.
Right. Okay. I'm looking at the real total.
Yeah, the grand total would be
84.
correct.
You just mentioned that 18 fits place. 18 patio fits. That's
Right.
that means 66 fits. Where else?
Yeah, there's this side of the building, on this side, there's a whole bunch of them in the courtyards, and then the assisted living on this side.
Your elevation, it's a little misleading, it looks like more like, because of the railing, it looks like the numbers with the railings that you have on top.
And more
I mean, like 16,
along hillside?
or your elevation.
I know, but
Rear elevation is facing Sherman.
yes, that's the thing, the rear elevation, you're seeing all these through here. The rear elevation, which is this elevation here, these patios are the ones I'm talking about that would be the farthest away from the road. All the ones that are inside of here, you can't see them because they're inside the courtyard. So there's a lot more, but they're in the
All going to be
courtyard,
cut down.
as well as on the other side.
The
So
oaks
there's
wash
nothing on this side
planted.
here, but they're in this courtyard. They aren't necessarily close or equal. And then you have these on the farther side, the assisted living portion of it, which you have these, there's 8 of them on that side.
5 up.
18 that face out on the west side edge.
Yes.
Are those the larger version?
They're all the same size patios around. Yeah, they're all the same size. These are single, these are 2, these are for 2 units, these are not.
So, there's a little confusion on the sides here, so, we have confusion of size, it's a single to double, so you said refer to a double, is that 9 by 14?
No, each of these patios are 6 by 14.
So every balcony, every patio.
Every unit would get the same size patio, but some are next to each other.
So,
Put the wall between.
got it, so some are standalone, not
That's
adjacent
right.
to another one, some are there divided with the wall, so when you look at a one with the wall in between, you're gonna be looking at 28 feet, 27 feet, 26 feet of railing for two balconies that are side by side.
That's correct. Yeah, there's some that are single, there's some of the units are adjacent. Yes, we're just making the architectural features, utilizing the patio to create that feature.
Are they lighting?
Here's a light, and I have that as well.
Are they
It's on a switch, and it would be nothing. It would be mainly a downlight with a little glow fixture. It's really just to provide some lighting. And they don't. It's not like a spotlight that shines out or anything. And this is exhibit AEX-7.
Well, before you jump, Russ, I think you finished your, you had Bob and Frank, it was good, you had to stop confusion on the documents, you okay?
Yeah, I mean, they're as they're depicted on the drawings. Some are, like you said, within the courtyards at a greater depth than the ones that are closer to those properties.
Yeah, sure. So,
14 feet below the ground.
On this drawing, it's like there's two patios. Pretty
Closest.
well, relatively.
so I'm just gonna comment, here at my board, I think there's confusion on there trying to say that each particular side, how many balconies that they're looking for, and I don't think that has been, clear to the board members of what it is, but it's gonna move in public, so we can look at the rear elevation or the courtyard. Actually, they're doing math here, 14, 18, what's the real number? So if you wanna go to the drawing and have over there and say there's 10 here, 30 here, 60 here, whatever that number could be, so we can clarify that, so there's, clear questions from the public and the board members are satisfied with the questions that they ask. If you could do that, that would be wonderful.
So on
That
this,
guy
on
doesn't
this
let
side
me
here,
speak.
there's 6 patios. There's 2 on the second, there's 3 on the second floor, and 3 on the third floor. So there's 6.
Check this out.
This is closest
Okay, so be specific on all of that, so they understand
Closest to
everybody
town.
knows.
Correct.
That's closest to Route 10.
closest to Route 10 on this side. On this side, there's 4 patios facing Route 10 on this side.
All 4 face Route 10.
Face Route 10. Along the front side here, you have on this side of the building, which is facing the hillside closest to Route 10.
Closest to Route 10.
The intersection. There are 8 on this side in the front.
114, it was 300.
And then from the entrance, from the farther side, farthest away from Route 10, there are
Please stop and share.
there's 18 patios along this section right here, facing Allen Avenue on the farther side.
Let's discuss this.
On this side of the building, which is facing the entrance, on this side.
We're going to discuss what's here, okay? I'm going to go in this back room here. This is the building that I'm banned from coming to. Does everybody know that? On March 3rd, 2022, I came to this building and went into the tax assessor lady's house in her building, okay? Because I needed information on these properties. They're going to bulldoze. They wouldn't give me information. She threatened to call the cops on me again. Then I went to the police department, showed them the videos of the bodies in the tunnel system. They didn't care. So I called the coroner's office. And then they came and they took me away for a night. The bad cops. There's national treasures. Illuminati's involved. And then they came and they took me away for a night. The bad cops. There's national treasures. Illuminati's involved. Entertainment purposes only. So this is what we have here, folks. There's a 1,000-foot tunnel system that I discovered that George Washington and Lincoln and others used. And then they put Civil War soldiers' bodies. They put Civil War soldiers' bodies in the tunnel system of Robert G. Shaw. And the mansion that was torn down that was on this property was owned by Henry Martin Tupper, who built Shaw University in 1865 after the Civil War because Robert G. Shaw's men are in the tunnel system. His father was the richest man in Massachusetts, connected with my family ancestors. Right here. The Joy genealogy. Okay? Those are my ancestors. One of my grandfathers was commissioned by George Washington to be the ambassador of India. Was King's Treasures in Madagascar. And Roxbury is founded on December 24, 1740. Is in District 25. Now, these township officials and these police department guys, I mean, this guy, there's bodies in a tunnel system, and they don't care, unfortunately. And the reason why this cop is here now again is because the first time they sent 2 cops here for me. The last 2 meetings they weren't here. And because I was not shutting up and not allowing to speak the last time, he's here this time, I believe. Yes. No. Yes. You weren't here the last 2 meetings. It's because the first time they sent 2 cops here for me. The last 2 meetings they weren't here. And because I was not shutting up and not allowing to speak the last time, he's here this time, I believe. Yes. No. Yes. You weren't here the last 2 meetings. No. And the last meeting I was here, the guy wouldn't let me speak. The guy at the top of the desk was shut up. He wouldn't let me tell about what's here because they want to bulldoze it all.
The time before that, you got to talk, though.
Yeah, I did, but I'm just saying it's just not right.
As much as everybody else.
But this building, I am banned by the township manager because I came in here and they threatened to call the cops on me because they wouldn't give me public information on these properties, guy. March 3rd, 2023. Officer, wouldn't give me public information on these properties, guy. March 3rd, 2023. Officer. I'm sorry, but I'm just, you got to understand the frustration. Look, here's the cops coming at me in the woods. You've seen this one, right?
You showed me.
The police.
For 45 minutes last
yeah, I know, but this is all real. When you became a police officer, you uphold the Constitution of the United States of America. And this is George Washington's tunnel tombs and Abraham Lincoln's tomb.
Well, that's not.
It's 12 South Hillside Avenue. The property is 12. When you became a police officer, you uphold the Constitution of the United States of America. And this is George Washington's tunnel tombs and Abraham Lincoln's tomb.
Well, that's not.
It's 12 South Hillside Avenue. The property is 12. His birthday is 12. There's no 12 on Sherman Road. No 1s or 2s or 21s. The road coming in, and on the other side is Robinson, Abraham Lincoln's favorite book. And on the front of Roosevelt School is George Washington and Abraham. On the other side is Robinson, Abraham Lincoln's favorite book. And on the front of Roosevelt School is George Washington and Abraham Lincoln's headstone markers. Do you know the placards on the front of Roosevelt School?
No. Roosevelt is my favorite president.
And then it's headstone markers. Do you know the placards on the front of Roosevelt School?
No. Roosevelt is my favorite president.
And then the other place is under Lincoln School is the underground shooting range. You didn't even know that. You're a cop in this town.
There's no shooting range under there. I looked. Last time you told me, I looked.
Bro, it's a massive underground shooting range over there.
I get to it because I looked last time.
They closed it off 15 years ago. I have friends in the Board of Ed. Yeah, and it was used as a Civil War hospital. And the tunnels connect to the 2 churches. Once you go to the Board of Ed. Yeah, and it was used as a Civil War hospital. And the tunnels connect to the 2 churches. Once you go,
there's a few Revolutionary War hospitals in town.
Yeah. The Presbyterian Church is where I found the 21 giant skulls.
There's a few Revolutionary War hospitals in town.
Yeah. The Presbyterian Church is where I found the 21 giant skulls. And these people are going to rob it. And they were already robbed it in 2007 when they bulldozed the mansion. Giant skulls. And these people are going to rob it. And they were already robbed it in 2007 when they bulldozed the mansion. I know where they dug in. I have a hole in the ground that goes down 4 feet through 8 inches of concrete for you get your forensic team in there. But nobody in the Roxbury Police Department cares about bodies in a tunnel system from our fallen heroes of the Civil War. Because a block away is this headstone. Check this out. This is the headstone a block away with nobody in the grave sites, with the freaking tunnel that we were just talking. Because a block away is this headstone. Check this out. This is the headstone a block away with nobody in the grave sites, with the freaking tunnel that we were just talking about between the churches. Let's go back. The headstone sits between the First Presbyterian and the United Methodist Church with nobody in the grave sites, with 2 big oak trees with a box, with all this civil rights activist information. And Robert G. Shaw in the United Methodist Church with nobody in the grave sites, with 2 big oak trees with a box, with all this civil rights activist information. And Robert G. Shaw, Henry Martin Tupper, I mean, you name it, they're all there. Every single one of the Civil War heroes that were involved with the Civil War are on this. I mean, you name it, they're all there. Every single one of the Civil War heroes that were involved with the Civil War are on this headstone. And there's nobody in the gravesite. And the date on the front of the headstone is March March 21st, 1856, for the first spring equinox. That's the headstone. Two big oak trees with a box. This sits with a tunnel system below it. Nobody in the grave sites. I found spring equinox. That's the headstone. Two big oak trees with a box. This sits with a tunnel system below it. Nobody in the grave sites. I found the church records. It was the first headstone to be built because the people that own the mansion donated the land for the church to be built, and it's in the record. I'm a detective. You know that, right?
No.
My brother is a detective. I'm not going to tell you where he's a detective. I'm a detective. You know that, right?
No.
My brother is a detective. I'm not going to tell you where he's a detective.
I think I did know that.
But otherwise, it's in my blood. And I used to be on Twitter. I used to be called a climate detective because I uncovered corruption with NASA, with them changing temperature stuff.
What's the
with all
goal
that.
tonight?
The goal is,
Understand me?
what do you mean? The goal is to present this information to them to stop building. We need to have archaeologists. This is the national treasures. They're slaves. What do you mean? The goal is to present this information to them to stop building. We need to have archaeologists. This is the national treasures. They're slaves of our soldiers from this Union Army. We wouldn't have a constitution or be free from slavery if it didn't happen in Roxbury.
Well, you know what the routine is. I'm going to give you 2 minutes.
Yeah. Well, he wouldn't let me talk. So if you're there,
$2 minutes.
and he wouldn't let me even speak 1 minute. The guy at the top. So when I'm speaking,
But you know the rules, right?
the rules are that there's treasures.
You can ask questions.
Okay, you're an officer. I'm saying to you, I know you're a nice guy.
You're asking questions.
Yeah, but there's a tunnel system with 1,000 foot with bodies from the Civil War. And New Jersey's law states when you find human remains, the police department has to investigate. And when you find artifacts on Roxbury Township property, like I have, and I have the emails from Dr. Gregory, when you find human remains, the police department has to investigate. And when you find artifacts on Roxbury Township property, like I have, and I have the emails from Dr. Gregory, the township's supposed to accept them. But they're not following the 100-year law either, because it will bring recognition to what's in the
When was
ground.
the last meeting that you came to? I was here with one in the spring, remember?
No, they just had 4 back. This is the 4th one back to back.
Have you been to all of them?
Yes. Bro, this is my family shit. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and the
You still
ex-slaves.
on Long Island?
Back.
Have you been to all of them?
Yes. Bro, this is my family shit. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and the
You still
ex-slaves.
on Long Island?
I'm going back and forth.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm going back and forth.
Oh, okay.
Because what I discovered there, bro.
Long Island.
Montauk Point Lighthouse is on a battle mound that George Washington had commissioned to be built in the 1700s. Because what I discovered there, bro.
Long Island.
Montauk Point Lighthouse is on a battle mound that George Washington had commissioned to be built in the 1700s. All right, we're going to come back in here.
Yes.
So if you get to heard it, entertainment purposes only.
Yes, the boards were submitted. These items were not submitted. These were brought back to answer the questions. These were submitted to the town as we sent in the packets to go on.
This is what you call a shit show. These people are running for office too over
They
here.
were not submitted.
And that guy wouldn't let me talk last time.
Understood.
Okay, so then I'm gonna call typical patio, which is passed out, that will be.
They won't even recognize
We have one non.
tunnels with bodies in the Civil War
One exhibit.
because they robbed them in 2007. Township officials were involved.
So this is gonna be exhibit 2, which would be the patios.
My neighbor was the mayor.
Patios, and then exhibit 3.
And on this planning board meeting,
residential
board.
light fixtures. And then this will be exhibit 4, will be stone. Stone will be exhibit 4, stone. Yeah.
We have the roof shingle.
There's 2 men on that planning board, men that confronted me last time, and they said they would save anything that's there.
What's the next number?
The trees are all marking the graves below. It's a pink Corsite, Puddingstone Hilltop.
The shingle. The roof shingle.
They're discussing shingles and all the things to build. And there's a 1,000-foot tunnel system with ex-slave soldiers from the Civil War. They all know it. All of them.
Sample of what's gonna be on the facade of the building.
That is going to be all this year. This stone color.
There's a 1,000-foot tunnel system. That's real treasure.
Yeah,
14 feet below the ground. Move along, trolls.
So this would be exhibit 6. And these are the light color and the dark color side. So this
Those are the actual colors.
the actual color.
So the shade of the
Yes. Yeah, we're trying to do with the one color of the stone. We also have another color.
Solid gold with an amber stone and platinum on the bottom because the tunnel system floods after they robbed it in 2007.
It's not going to be real wood. It's going to be a composite material.
What are we gonna call it, an accent material?
It's an accent material. So
What is this on top?
it's a composite material. It looks like a lot of products out there today, so it's much more long lasting, like the hardwood side. This stuff will last a lot longer.
And the window color, is that?
The window color is
Is that a color or just a white?
it's just a black.
Oh, it's all black. Oh,
And we have we have some areas where we have stainless steel metal, which is this stuff here on the front, and some accents with the stainless steel, and that is a dark color, trying to blend in the windows and the.
that's number 8, what are we calling that?
This is stainless steel metal.
That's the second part of the roof.
Another piece of it. It's a stainless steel.
Standing seam metal.
Stainless steel.
And 8.
Give me a minute, guys.
7 was
Request to join if you want to come up.
And that is pretty much all the
Can't find a
all
button.
the colors on the exterior.
And you'll be doing steel, not aluminum? That's steel?
For the stainless steel.
Yeah.
It's a
It's so ridiculous.
It's a heavy duty,
Discussing what they're building there, and they won't recognize
Color will be the same.
George Washington's
Yes.
tunnels.
That's it, I just have a question. So, just on the back, on this, you're gonna put it, is the railing exactly this, or is the railing different on this building here?
The railing will be like the stainless steel metal, dark color, so there'll be a black metal.
It's not the cable system like that?
No, not the cable. That was more just an example of what's on the plan.
So is it powder, is it maintenance, is
Yeah,
it
it's-
glass, is it?
It's that stainless steel metal will be almost exactly the metal material, so it's gonna be on there. So nothing, very simple, and I can provide a picture of that.
Yeah, please provide the actual picture of what's there. You know, you're trying to show us the
That's what the tubes are.
Sure.
Go ahead.
You envision, things like shades that come down,
On the patios,
maybe this is too preliminary for that.
it's really no, and I don't think, that would be more for the client to answer that, but I don't expect to get any.
I think he's talking about an awning or something,
a recess, so they have a soffit, which will have a material that will match the inside, or will be vinyl or aluminum soffit material. On the underside, the balcony will be recessed, so they won't be projecting out from those.
There's a roof over the top of the wall, but you won't provide any kind of, like you're saying, like a sun shade or something that will drop down.
It's like a sun center shade, it comes down, it drops down, to stop the light hitting the eye of the sun.
That's more of it.
That's a no,
That's it.
that's not inside that. Okay, so you went over the colors, the renderings, materials, Rick, Russ, you get all the charts, the material that you wanted to see, any questions that you have on that? No. None, Joe? No.
I think that covered the list of what, the renderings will come next time, so we'll see more of the pictures, but other than that, that covered all of my list.
Line of sight will come,
And
next
all
time,
kinds
your
of
work's
work
gonna be
with
landscape.
the landscape architect, the civil engineer.
Who's presenting that, you? or
Will
them?
be, they will present, I'll be here, but, they'll present that.
They'll present those detailed courtyard designs.
The landscape layouts of that?
Yeah.
I would assume so, yes. not designing for it. Just the only thing I'm involved with is that
Just the
roof.
space.
This one piece. I'm providing just the designs for this covered area right here. I'm just providing the designs for that, which was also submitted.
And what materials would?
This would be the stainless steel metal, and then this would be the stone. There's like a wall, privacy wall here. So again, that's where the views into the courtyard are not visible at all. And this would just be a stone material to match them.
So there's proposed some hanging lights within that patio area. Does that structure screen those lights?
Yes, it would be all straight. Yeah, you won't see much at all going on.
And you need more detail on that, on that?
I just need to see a drawing that would just give us the height of those hanging lights.
Yeah, that well, they would be all up to the side. You would able to see it.
And you will be taking charge of the lawsuit, right? You're gonna be writing that, or is that the third party that will be taking care of that?
The kitchen and stuff and all.
Or the food,
We'll have an MEP engineer involved, and the kitchen designer who will help us with all those designs, and we'll submit all that stuff to the town.
what else is on the next list?
Was the roof, patios, lighting.
Board members, you have any questions for this professional? Yes, Mike.
When you're coming back with the line of sight system with the landscaping and everything in there,
Correct.
when you're gonna draw that out, so we're gonna get to see where it's going, can you give us like a picture? Let's say, well, you're not gonna see anything, you have this beautiful trees here. Show us what that line of sight.
Just waste of time.
So that they can really see.
It's a historical site. They're going to bulldoze it.
I can't speak to all species, but there's a lot.
This is what America's come to.
We will have a witness and we'll talk about line of sight.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't want it to come back to
Yeah,
you,
Mr.
it's a big concern.
Mr. Burgess, look, inquired about the plantings and how they affect the line of sight. So we'll have testimony with respect to that.
So,
Yeah, just so the board's aware, our intention is to meet with your professionals, find out what they want.
Their lawyer knows all
And to
about
give
the
them what
tunnels.
they want, so that when we come back here, we're not confronted with a discussion about, oh, we'd rather see this, we'd rather see that. We'll know what they want, and see if what we're giving them is satisfied, and you'll make the ultimate decision.
so,
These board members all need to be fired. There's a lot of corruption, I believe, and that's for entertainment purposes only.
privacy in, privacy out. That is what I hear from my members here, board members, I hear from the public. That's what we're here. So back to my question, what he's saying is throughout the year, make sure we're checking all the boxes, that whatever layers or natural vegetation is there, we're checking those boxes.
It bears saying, though, that we're putting this building in, which is what the property is zoned for, and it's not gonna be invisible.
Of course,
It's gonna be visible, and we're gonna do our very best to be a good neighbor and to have plantings that are gonna buffer the visual aspect of it. And hopefully when it's all done, it'll be something everybody will be proud of.
and it's great. So we're on the same.
Sure.
Mike, do you have anything else?
I have just a question. I just have a question. Any wall signs?
No, there's no signs.
Okay. Nothing by the entrance?
Any signage is on, like the actual alignment signs that are, beyond anything in the building. But there is signs, there's a monument sign, which the civil engineer has testified to, and there is located.
What's on the retaining wall?
It's like I'm not even here with the information of the discovery. This is just like bulldoze it.
I just made a note at the last meeting that architect will address the stone on the property, the use of the stone on the property. Is that landscape architect or is it Mr.?
Yeah, so we'll get back to that. Talked about, you're not referring to the building, the stone that you cast out, you're referring to the wall stone where it's getting cut how is that getting used? That's been a question, I think, at every meeting at this point. How are we reutilizing that stone? Where are we gonna reutilize that stone? And who's taking care of it? Before planning the park. Did I get that right?
So I
Just give me 1 second, John.
Also, that I wanted to know the mix of the city districts.
They want to destroy the stone wall. That's all artifacts surrounding the pyramid.
Yeah, okay, so, yeah, so, John, you have to repeat that question, they did not hear you. So keep that in there.
Well, what I'm interested in is the place right here, is evergreens, relative to the houses.
The red dots are
Because if you're adjusting the
prehistoric giant artifacts of quartzite, pink crystal,
As I said, our goal is to be with Russell's group and Joe's group, and we go through all the landscape issues and try to resolve it.
So the, that question, the comment that Mr. Russell brought out is for all the professionals to make sure our professionals are seeing what they want and what you need. John, you're good? And to make your question.
No question. This is the architect and the landscape.
So who will be taking care of that?
Oh, shoot, I'm sorry. What I wanted to do tonight, which hopefully we've done, was to have you understand the building and the patios and the lights. And that so now, hopefully you understand the building and what it looks like. And we will come back with landscaping that you will already having understood what the building looks like. You'll be able to interpret what we give you as to whether it fulfills your desire to have the visual aspect of the building ameliorated by the plan.
Okay, but part of the question that came from Mr. Vincent Riley was the stone that's came up in every meeting, the wall that's in front and south hillside that we're cutting, possessed a couple times, came from Irish board members, the public didn't brought it up.
artifacts.
Who's taking care of
These
that?
artifacts surrounding the burials
How
of the
would that
pyramid.
get incorporated into the structure somewhere else on the property?
This is what they're
So
going
on,
to
so
bulldoze.
I don't want to do it, but
This
it's been
whole
asked,
corner will
never
be
answered, so it keeps getting asked, so I'm wondering who's gonna give me the answer. I've asked, is it gonna be architectural or landscape, which keeps getting punted down the road, I wanna try to determine who's gonna take care of that.
To take care of that with the landscaping, we're gonna think it fits with respect to that.
As long as I get an answer, we have it on there, so I know where exactly it's been asked, I think about 16 times, so I wanna make sure we're on. And, board members have any other questions for, testimony that's given by the architect? Joe, you have a question?
The only question I
Just
have,
speak up, please, for the audience.
in our memo, we had raised a question about the accounts for the defendant.
Yeah, there was a numerical error in what we had listed, and we corrected that here. The totals are right. It was just a breakdown. For some reason, the smart charts weren't so smart in this.
But now it's correct.
So it's all correct.
You can just tell us what they want.
Actually, that just to show the updated picture.
He doesn't like me, that guy. That's the desk guy.
These are the updated charts, which are the numbers. It was basically
Because I'm exposing what's going on here.
the numbers.
That's not one of those drawings now.
Correct.
That's why they banned me from this building.
Yes.
And then secondly, in the initial submission, on the second and third floor, you had a sitting area, a game room area, kitchen. Yeah, you eliminated that, just to be determined.
No, right now we're placeholding that, because once we start designing, mechanical spaces and stuff, there's going to be IDF rooms, there's a lot of other infrastructure that's needed, and we just placehold that. We can't, it's to be determined, but it's really back of house kind of space. It's not like another sitting area, it's really for.
She doesn't like me either. She's staring at me, giving me the eye. Put that one there. She's giving me the eye.
Good.
You see her? First time she's been at this meeting.
Alright, just kind of, no, we have the public, okay, any questions that the they have for you regarding the testimony that you're giving tonight. So I'm gonna open this up to the public, and I ask that you, ask the question, that you're gonna give testimony to on the architect. So anyone in the public, please come forward, state your name and your address, and fire away. Come on. So we gotta get you the microphone. Can you share that microphone?
Yeah, but stand.
That's my ex-landlord, the Romans.
I'm Adrian Roman, and I'm at 11 Sherman. And I would like to know on that bottom trail, where is Sherman?
She wanted me out of the house if I discovered the tunnels because she's friends with the property owners.
Can you just state, what she say to that bottom of it for the record, can you say what that sheet number is?
Yeah, and can you tell me where Sherman is on that?
Her and her son busted up artifacts on video.
Well, it's gonna be.
The record, what
She's the one that locked me out of my own house.
ABX3.
The cops.
Go ahead, you wanna know where the trash is located?
Oh yeah, I wanna know on that one, where is Sherman Road and where is the trash? Located.
The site plan is be better.
Okay.
Site plan show all that.
We give for a general vicinity,
It's better vicinity is just, I can help out with that.
yeah, can you help out with that?
Roughly speaking, Sharon is over in this corner over
Okay,
here.
so the witness, I'm sorry.
Such a shit show.
Okay, wait, you have to get this on the.
Even though I
Back
know
here, over here.
there's
No,
tunnels
none of that. So
soldiers' bodies, they're gonna bulldoze it all.
if you're
And they don't even recognize it.
How we can say, well, I can't with that.
I worked on this discovery for 14 years.
Hold on a second, we have a site plan.
Who's got this morning?
No, we're gonna have to.
Okay, so we need to swear, get your name, get you sworn in.
I was previously sworn in, but that's okay. David Weiner. Yeah.
Okay, you were sworn in. Okay, Mr. Weiner, when you're showing us, pointing something out on any of these exhibits.
He knows about the tunnels too. Failed
to.
to.
On the record, so if you're gonna point to the top of the drawing, say I'm pointing to the top, I'm pointing to the right, okay?
Okay. So, Sherman Place is on the west side of the property, almost directly across from where the courtyard would be. The trash enclosure would be in the southwest corner of the property, almost directly across from this other courtyard that's over here.
The other question I have, maybe it's not for tonight, but I wonder why all the trees almost.
Remember their faces, okay? They're all against America's national treasures.
We are, as we've heard the question that came from the board, as you heard the question that came from the professionals, this applicant is going to work tirelessly with my two professionals right down here to address all of those questions. You will see an architectural rendering, colored rendering that is going to show you all that, and explanation for that exact question.
Well, I guess what I'm doing is I'm just asking that they reconsider cutting down all those trees along the fence with full respect to the neighbors.
Heard you loud and clear, and so did my professional. Okay, you can hand that microphone back to the professional. Next, public, please come forward.
Going up next, okay.
Hi, Donna Francis, 11 Bean Place. One of the major, could you go back to the balconies? My major question or huge ask, I mean, you're talking 3-story building, sorry, other one picture, the balconies?
The colored rendering, that's what the balconies.
Yeah.
The first one.
Again, I understand you have the right to build, blah, 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 just to be the neighbor. Is there any way that we could beg you to please not put any balconies on at least minimally the 3rd floor, possibly the 2nd story, and put them on the interior court? There's many units there without balconies. When you're talking 3-story, I'm in a ranch. I am located right here.
Is it You're indicating the left-hand side of this.
Left-hand side of the exhibit.
I'm actually talking, yes, specifically, but all of the exterior balconies being in Sherman, can't we just put them on the first floor of those ones, second, third floor of the interior in regard to, consideration of all the neighbors? Like, that's huge, like 3 stories, it's such a ranch.
I can look at it in so if you don't move these units to get them, I can maybe move this to another unit and try to move those off. So if you
On the third floor specifically, second would be great. Again, I'm a little ranch, so I'm gonna have people looking down right into my yard. That would be very good. I would appreciate that. And then my other thing, I need to circle back. If I can talk, there's been a lot of talk about sightline and about what we were talking about adjusting the fence. And I know I talked last meeting about getting into my property. Is there any way that I don't really feel comfortable?
She owns a house that
that
was
this should be
built
talked about
in
tonight.
1930s with another one.
Having this whole right around my policy, what if I sell that house, blah, 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 you don't have to have your attorney do something. I think, Jim, you brought it up, or Mike, about building in, just doing a separate driveway. Is there any way you would consider, like, instead of adjusting everything, like?
The way we got the building design. And if you look at your project,
right there.
We're not just by building this building, and even though part of the driveway is on our property, we're gonna work it out with you so you don't have to worry about it. So you can continue to operate the way you live and live the way you live now. You're not looking for disruption.
I guess what I'm asking.
These are the trees in our backyard.
Lawyers like written
These were
documents.
planted by
I'll
the
give you a
nice
written document that allows you to.
You mentioned
But can you just give me a new driveway? I know my property is what I'm asking, and then nothing's gonna touch the line.
We certainly don't wanna spend any money redoing your property, redoing your driveway. You just leave it where it is and we'll give you a license. Life will go on the way you live it now.
So this guy.
Yes, the applicant is being fair. I think well, that's meaning you show your title, whether you are on their property.
Oh, I know that,
They are being generous in that, so they asked them to put a new driveway in.
I figured I would try.
I figured you asked,
Because
right?
I don't have to have a rider for my policy and all that stuff, so.
Plus, you'd have to increase coverage.
Yeah.
What's that?
You'd have to increase coverage.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
One second.
If it is added, it should be evergreen, so that should the business be sold to another home in this business, that a waiver still stands. It should be evergreen. So if they sell it, you still have your profit. I think that's.
Thank you, Don. Stand that nicely. Your head might go back. Please come forward, state your name and address.
I might just want to circle back, just looking at the site plan and where the balconies are located and where your house is. Are you the house, like, it's like 150 feet away from the house too? So you're not right up against your house.
I'm here,
This one.
but you're still 3 stories high.
So you're saying that you're this one right here is the one that you're concerned about. Because these wouldn't be, the building would kind of block the view. The building itself,
If it's 3 stories, that's it.
because this sticks out in front, so the building itself.
Balconies on the southwest corner.
But I can certainly relocate these to another spot, another site, see what maybe.
Oh, I see what you're saying, this is like a little courtyard.
It's a little courtyard, right.
And that one is not.
So I can take care of it. But just so you know, it's not like it's right up against your.
Yeah, but if you're on this high, it's still, you're looking down into it.
Hello, state your name and address, please.
Hello, Danielle Data, 7 South Hillside.
Welcome, Danielle. And what was the address again?
7 South Hillside.
We might want to do something. Go ahead, Danielle.
Yeah, my first question is, can we see the pictures of the balconies, the public? Would that be able to be passed out to us?
That's exhibits. You have some spare copies here. They weren't the executive. Danielle is the record there. It's just what they look like. Their balconies are double.
Yep.
Or double wide, so it's not an exact there.
Okay.
There's a sheet.
It says if you find something.
Exactly this design.
We was doing that anyway.
Okay. I just want to say thank you for emphasizing the concern for privacy. That is one of my biggest concerns. It will not be the last time I mention it tonight. When it comes to the balcony / patios, are residents going to be able to hang flags, signs, Christmas lights, clothes? Is that something, because that's going to be pretty cluttered. I'm looking at 18 balconies from where I live.
Danielle, that would be a question for probably not the architect.
Okay.
Probably going to be a question that would, so that would be a question that's going to go to the applicant. It's something that they would put into probably a lease agreement or there that we may touch upon, that there's not, you know, everything up there on the thing, so.
If it was my building, I want it to look nice, I wouldn't want any stuff.
Yeah, no, that would be, obviously people live there. I want them to live their life and enjoy representing themselves, but that could get.
Danielle, I'll pause you for a minute.
Yeah, one of the things we're gonna focus on, I wrote it up on the brief, day and night, the consistency of this. You're right, we don't want to see, you know, sun umbrellas up on one side, and somebody, you know, puts a big kind of petition to the other.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think that's what's gonna happen, but there would be in terms of the way this is gonna look, that's gonna be.
Okay.
So what we would be able to bounce off Bob, when we look at that rendering, what you see across the back, we want it to look like that all the time. Buffalo, like we're not gonna look, we will wrap LED around their doors and things like that. We will put that into conversation with the applicant that they move it forward into their lease agreement. We are not looking for.
Yeah, 18 patios, 18 different personalities.
Yeah,
it could be a lot.
We get it, but I'm assuming the applicant is gonna have that in their stuff. We will have that conversation.
Okay. So then the same thing with like when it comes to playing music, I'm assuming probably if you can fit a table, you can fit a grill, but again, that's probably not the same.
So we'll get into that with
Okay.
the architect, but I don't think they're gonna allow grilling out there.
I
It should probably be in
just
there,
like
but
throw it in there.
we'll go.
I can tell you that there will be no grill.
Thank you. So there will be no grills up
Okay,
there.
good.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Let me just see. I guess the lights, because we did bring that up on the patios. If they're switched like on and off, one light that stays on, not a big deal. But again, 10 to 15, if people forget them to turn them off, can kind of light it up a little bit. So could they be automatic?
They're shutting down, they're downward lights, so they're not shutting down, so when you would, the light wouldn't be near your property.
Okay.
But is there a little bit of glow on the face?
There's a little bit of a glow on the face, but again, it's not shining out, it's shining down and reflecting. It's just a little bit of light in the pattern, it's not.
Okay.
So the light that's visible is diffused.
So it's like me being farther away, I really wouldn't be much.
No, it's just distance, you see a little glowing, but it's not like that shine right on the property.
Okay.
Resolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely we can look into the patios, like Donna said, possibly not being on the third or less on the third. I'm right in front of the main entrance, so. Yeah.
If we're gonna get a microphone, we're afraid the architect's not getting picked up with his answers, and we just have to get a microphone up here for you. So we hear everything for the record. Yeah, and then if you could just respond to that, that would be wonderful.
Sure.
Our secretary was struggling here.
I'm sorry.
That section up there.
I don't even know what I just said.
Oh,
The patio's on the third floor. It's been a long day.
You work, I can't look at everything, but.
I understand. Just so if I can show, like pointing to the bottom right a little bit where I live, like I'm right here. So let's say a handful of patios are gonna be
looking down on my property across the street. So they'll be able to see into my backyard. So I want people to be able to enjoy fresh air too, a cup of coffee, but an hour sitting outside or 15 minutes can turn to all morning, all day.
Well, I do want to say this side of the building is the more frail elderly, they're more the 85-year-olds who will rarely be out in those patios. So that's why we go by less on this side of the building, because those residents do not like the heat and the cold. They're very, it's difficult with temperature for them. So they will be rare, if anything, it might be morning coffee.
I actually, you said there's no patios for the nursing home.
Nothing for memory care now.
Okay. And then, similar to what Michael said about the trees at the different seasons, I really appreciated that. I know last time I had mentioned having the actual view with the initial landscaping would be really helpful. Not the trees 5 to 10 years from now. I guess that's just an ask. The initial planting, and I can see what that's going to look like.
Yeah, so there, again, you heard earlier, they will be working with. They're trying to get a date scheduled to get on there. And I'll repeat myself, Joe and Russ were here in court, myself and the public, that we are going to work with the applicant to make sure we have that, and we will be doing the line of sight from these locations. So we have that, to Mike's question, for the season. But they're still working on that. That will come up in our further meetings, okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Anything else, Danielle?
That's it. Thank you.
For your time. Anyone else in the public?
Well, we were both. Go ahead.
My name is Christopher James Beal. I've resided in Roxbury Township since 1999. And I was living in the basement, 11 Sherman, in the Romans basement, illegally. So I want to talk about the wall. See, the wall that's there is artifacts that surround the burial ground that's there. This is a burial ground. And it's a treasure map that leads you there. And I have information I'd like to submit to the board. This is more paperwork. And I have a documentation. I'll give my 2 minutes. I have documentation of speaking at the American Indian Conference on the 26th who state in New Jersey about what's here on this properties in Roxbury.
So,
okay?
Chris,
and I'd
you
like to
have to
submit
submit that. You have to go through a proper channel to submit stuff to the board. You can't drop it off over here.
Well, there's no emails. You guys don't have emails in Roxbury. There's a lot of things, and I'm not allowed to come to the Roxbury Township Municipal Building because when I called the coroner's office about the bodies in the tunnel system, your cops banned me along with the township official, the manager, and the tax assessor. Okay, and Senator Anthony Bucco won't answer any questions on this property because he was a lawyer in 2021 to allow this Buffito family to bulldoze it because of conflict of interest. There's ex-slave soldiers in the tunnel system, or Robert G. Shaw with the 54th Command from Massachusetts that perished in Pennsylvania.
Chris, what I'm going to like to do here is submit those drawings to Robin down and down.
George Washington used these tunnels, and so did Lincoln.
Chris, listen, I'm working with you, but
my ancestors.
Chris, when I speak, I ask you to give me the same respect that I'm giving you. I'm going to ask you to give those drawings to Robin. She will pass them down to me. And look at them. However, there is a proper channel to submit stuff to the planning board, any board.
I've been banned, so I can't come here and do it.
Okay, so I'll look into that, Chris, because you're here now, so I don't know if you're banned and you want to like.
Well, they got a cop here again tonight. The first meeting, they had 2 cops. The next 2 meetings, they didn't know I was coming. There was no cop because of.
All right, listen, Chris, address me. Don't just address me here. So I'm gonna let you submit them. Okay, I will take a look at them. I'll find out why you can't submit, but there's a proper channel. I'm gonna have to ask you to submit that properly. If you have to submit the stuff through the PD to get us viable information, 1 second, let me get us information. I'll look at it.
Please,
but I just can't have you come in and make all these things. I have no idea.
I have a petition online with over 200 signatures to stop this, to get archaeologists to come in to see the bodies in the tunnel system. I have a camera scope set up for you to get into. I have a camera holding that in the ground for you to get the forensic.
I said, here, please give them to Rob. She will get them committed. I will look at them. I will look into that. Now,
the question is, the hospital is at the corner.
I'm begging you, please not to keep going.
Main Street.
Please not go. Now, you have an actual question for the architect.
Yes. The rocks.
Don't bring
You
up.
say you're gonna grind them up. I heard you say you're gonna move them. That wall is not supposed to be touched. It's an ancient, it was placed here for the burial of money.
So, Chris.
And they're paint course like putting some.
So, Chris, 1 second. I asked about the rocks.
Okay.
As I sit here today, I'm telling you, I'm not going to rock you around. Okay, I hear everything. They're going to have, 1 second, they're going to have somebody testify to the rocks, where we feel they should be used, how they're going to be used on the site. They have to remove the sectional wall to get the driveway in. That's what the applicant is presenting.
Historic site not to be touched.
So here, so you're outside the scope of the questions for here, and I can't let you go on. If you do not have a question for the architect, let me finish, Chris. I'm being patient with you, but please, if you do not have a question for the architect of what he testified to, I'm going to ask you to walk those drawings over to Rob, and please take your seat.
Because this is ridiculous. I'm wasting my time. There's real history in Roxbury. Look, it's 1740, it's down to 1720, and District 25. What else do you want to know? It's all here. Oh, even the pyramid on the back of the Dalbell is Route 10, Route 46, Commerce, and the tracks.
Thank you, Chris. Anyone else in the public wishing to come forward and have a question for the architect of the testimony that he is giving?
Hi, my name is Colt Patterson.
Colt, where you live?
13 South Hillside. So I'm just a couple houses down from, I can point out on the map, towards the bottom of the map, right here down on the South Hillside, right here. So I also have some of the same concerns that the board and the public have shared about landscaping and some of the tree screening. So I did just want to say that, get myself as well as another member of the public expressing those concerns, especially because there is.
Hey everyone. What's here in Roxbury has to do with George Washington and the tunnels that Abraham Lincoln used, and they're going to bulldoze it because they robbed it in 2007. It's really ridiculous, and I'm banned from even coming in this building. But because I pushed and I said, why am I not allowed to go in the building? I didn't do anything wrong except for to call the coroner's office because the Roxbury Police Department here doesn't care about bodies in the tunnel system. Let's go back and watch this bullshit story.
So I do have a question.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for a question.
I do have a question for you. So the community on that part of Hillside are on water wells. My question, or my concern, is around runoff, is around pollution from construction, pollution from waste, pollution from landscaping, things like that. I understand there are some measures being taken to account for that, but I am wondering if you are extending the water main down Hillside to service this facility, and if you're considering how you're providing water to the residents in the facility, just because how that is done may affect the water.
He's not the guy.
Okay.
There's a guy here at the last meeting that can add to that, but
okay.
I'm gonna tease you for that.
See, he lets to get to talk about something other than what the architect said.
How the water's gonna come in off of.
No, it's not coming in off.
Can you just give that to Joel and give him a little insight? We'll give it 2 minutes here.
I'll be back in a minute. Just
for the record, there is an existing water main coming down Hillside Avenue heading south. We will be tapping off of that water main on Hillside Avenue in the proximate location of just past this storm water basin, E, near the driveway. So it'll be coming in directly, feeding the hot water box, the hot box, and then it'll be distributing on site. It's public water, it's not well water.
So I have a question for you. Yeah. I'm just thinking back here, and believe there was testimony given that it was you were coming off of Route 10 and going into.
Yeah, I don't know why that was not accurate information.
Maybe I just made that up.
No.
So
I believe that Matt wasn't looking at the drawing and he misspoke, but if you look at the civil drawings that were submitted as part of our application, the utility drawing, it clearly shows where the water is coming in.
And you're certain that main is there and it goes all the way up to your potentially new.
I'll let the civil engineer confirm that in another meeting if you'd like. But I've been told that it's been confirmed and we have well-served letters.
I know I'm getting old.
We're all getting old.
My board just, if I didn't know, that's what we heard, and they did testify to that because, as Cole mentioned, it's been brought up 3 other times that the municipality does not have water on South Hillside. So, if you're saying that, I would like your engineer to testify to that, and we, as our professionals here, will understand that. So, the public would have the right to have off that same main and put water to their house. How far down where your house is? Oh, I don't know. South, where are you at? Are you across from this drive-by?
Yeah, 13 South Hills.
Yeah, so.
If I remember correctly, so you said you were somewhere in this location.
I can't actually tell how many houses down that is. 13, it's 5 from the corner of 10.
So have you ever inquired about water with the municipality?
I have. They said that the main doesn't go down the street, and that we can't tap in without extending.
Okay, so.
I'd just like to make a recommendation that you contact the township engineer and let her be aware of your concern.
Okay. Sure, contact her directly.
I mean, this is not under her jurisdiction because it's on public water utility, but they aren't considered.
Okay.
Did you have another question, Paul, for the architect? David, thanks for that.
Thank you.
Did you? Anyone else in the public wish to come forward and have a question for testimony on this given?
I just want to let you know that the water main stops at our house, and that's 25 South Hillside.
25 South Hillside.
Yeah, we're the last house.
Would you be so kind and walk me over to that map and just point your finger onto the lower part and coming from which direction?
All right. Right, so we're right here, and it goes from here, it goes from our house over to the west.
Okay, so it doesn't come from Route 10?
Not from Route 10.
It does, so it comes up South Hillside and stops at
From
Route 5.
South Hillside going towards Route 10, and it ends at 25 South Hillside.
Thank you for that. Did you have another question for the architect?
Not today.
Not today. Thank you for your time. Anyone else in the public, please come forward, state your name. Welcome back.
Adrian Roman McConnell, 11 Sherman. The question I have is, can you tell me how far my house is from the fence?
From the what, the fence?
From the fence, right.
I just want to make sure I heard you correctly.
Can you repeat 90 which fence you're on?
I think this is my house, yes, this is my house, and that's, how far is that?
From the fence to here? So these parking spaces are roughly 10 feet long. So you can see 10 feet to this. So maybe about 30 feet, give or take.
Is there any way to find out for next time, like exactly? I know that, yeah, maybe.
The site plan will tell us that, and I'm sure it's out there somewhere, so one of these things we can get you that answer. Is that the only question you have?
Yes, that is, thank you.
Anyone else in the public? Anyone else in the public have a question for testimony that was given? You're in a closed public. Board members, any questions for the architect? Guys in front here, Joe?
Yeah, I just might suggest, Mr. Chairman, there's no point in starting the testimony now because we do have another application.
Oh, I know, I get it. All right,
I
so
thought we could go at least till 10 o'clock.
I have another application behind you, which puts us back here until 11 o'clock. So, I'd like to say you could have the whole meeting all the time, but I have other applications.
You have to make it
So, let's get into some traffic here.
Well, we got start traffic testimony. I would say we need to give at least a half hour, if not 40 minutes to the applicant for that's coming up next on the agenda.
Yeah, so.
I mean, do we want to have 10 minutes of traffic testimony and then?
So, yeah, let's do a quick oversight of the traffic, a few minutes, and then we have to move on to the other application.
Say your name, correct? Eric Keller, Keller. whether you swear your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth.
I did.
So I'm qualifying your
Yeah. Mr. Keller, in what profession, if any, are you engaged?
I'm a licensed professional engineer in the state of New Jersey with a specialty in traffic and transportation. I have testified before this board in the past and testified before other boards here in court in New Jersey on similar applications. And have prepared hundreds of traffic impact statements over my long career.
Your license
I won't put years in there.
Your license current?
Yes, it is. And in good standing.
Board members have any questions? No, you got it. Move on.
Mr. Keller, at the request of the applicant, did you undertake to analyze the traffic aspects of this application?
We did.
And we should describe to the board the conditions with which you were confronted and the conclusions that you reached.
Certainly. We prepared a traffic engineering evaluation dated December 21st of 2023, which included traffic counts that were taken at the intersection of Route 10 and Hillside Avenue. We also analyzed, besides existing conditions, no-build conditions, those conditions that would exist in the future without this project, and the build conditions, which are those with this project. The counts were conducted on Tuesday, December 12th of last year, during the morning peak hour from 7 to 9, during the PM peak hour from 4 to 6. The peak hour, 4 consecutive 15-minute interval when traffic is at the highest within those 2-hour study periods, were identified at 7 to 8 a.m. and 4:15 to 5:15 p.m. The signal is obviously operated and maintained by the DOT. You all know that the DOT cares mostly about their road and moving traffic along their roadway, and the county road gets short shrift. And we find that at this location, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that everything operates smoothly today. I used to travel on Route 10 going to work for many years. I no longer do. I've moved from one congested corridor to another. And the morning peak hour operates better than the PM peak hour, and that's a function of the retail operations and the other activity that occurs within the Route 10 corridor during the PM peak hour. During the PM peak hour, there are more movements that operate at level service E. In the westbound left turn, going west on Route 10, making left on Hillside Avenue, backs up regularly.
What is the total trip count? I guess east and west on Hillside Avenue.
I don't know that I have that, Mr. Chairman, at my fingertips. Figure 2 in our report provides the traffic volumes along Route 10, roughly the morning peak hour. It's about 2,000 trips in 2 directions on Route 10, ballpark. I'm not going to take this, we're trying to move quickly but be thorough. And in the PM peak hour, 16, 17, it's more like 2,700 trips in an hour. It just along Route 10, eastbound at Hillside, westbound at Hillside.
When was that study done?
The counts were taken in December of 2023.
December 2020. Now the school was closed.
School was open, weather was good. Mr. Troutman reviewed it and confirms that the counts.
Hey everyone, we're going to do something after this meeting. I'm going to take you up into the woods to an ancient giant's burial mound that's only about 400 yards from here. So whoever sticks around after this meeting here and I can leave, we're going to go up to a giant burial mound, okay? You're going to be amazed at what's here.
3 years at the time that we did traffic, Roxbury on Route 10 was per year. just as we were preparing the report, they came out with updated trip rates or back road roads to 2% per year. What that does is it elevates the no build condition. And what happens is that our traffic is the same, whether, and it becomes a smaller percentage of the overall traffic because the background growth goes up. Does it have a material impact on operations? No.
And when there was improvements made, did you look at other traffic reports prior to some of the small improvements that were made from the south side end?
We included in our study, the Commerce Park traffic study, we got a copy of the report that was prepared by Langen. We included that traffic into the study. We were provided by the county with the traffic signal timing that was updated as part of the improvements at Hillside and at Main Street. I know some of you were here. I testified for the Mars Habitat Project at 121 Main. So I think that's now 6 years ago. I think that was pre-pandemic. So
what is the level of the grade of the intersection and south side?
Well, this is presented in table 1 of our report. During the morning peak hour, all of the individual movements operated except in level of service D. A is the best.
D straight, no D minus, D plus, D straight.
D is the A is a range. A is the best. It's just more for the public. F is congested conditions. We do have the northbound through movement operates at level of service E in the morning. In the peak,
level of A, what number?
E.
E.
E as an error. In the PM, there are only 3 movements that operate at level of service D or better, and that's the southbound left, southbound hillside onto eastbound 10. The westbound left, as I mentioned, is, eastbound through and right and westbound through and right. I look at the overall operation of that signal. All the movements combined, it operates at level of service D in both the AM and PM peak hours.
Once your development goes in, what level of service will they operate?
Get there in a minute, Mr. Chairman. I got a process.
Well, this is what I'm trying to do. Have about 4 more minutes left.
I can talk fast, and I'm almost there.
Okay.
So, under the no-build conditions, there are very little changes in the average delay on all the approaches. The one that does change the most is the westbound left turn, and it's a function as you get close to capacity, the average delay increases. It's not linear. So adding one vehicle to a movement when it's at level service F can result in a bigger change in the average delay is calculated. It's not what you would see in the field. Now, the trip generation for the proposed use. For the independent living units, we took a conservative approach and we used what the Institute of Transportation Engineers calls the ITE, Senior Adult Housing Multifamily. And for the assisted living, there is a code for the assisted living. Based on that, we have 35 AM peak hour trips. That's in and out, 16 in, 19 out. In the morning peak hours from this site. In the afternoon, it's 45, 22 in and 23 out. So
that account for emergency services, anything like that.
It counts for everything. Deliveries, everything else.
Yeah, so it counts for everything.
It counts for everything.
And it makes you know every turn, left-hand turn out of that facility on that southwest side is for courtesy. You have to be let out.
Depends on how far it backs up. Yes. So in the morning, most likely because it's a level of service. E going northbound, it's probably a courtesy gap. I will say the county asked for a copy of our traffic study. They reviewed it, and they have issued their approval for our access to Hillside Ave.
I wanted to get a brief overview. So you're saying, for the record, that the level of traffic coming out here is not going to take D and turn it into S. It's going to remain at D with the traffic that is proposed there, and then what's your proposal of traffic that may go out to Route 10 and go east over there? You have a
So figure 6.4 in our report shows the distribution of traffic. We had approximately, I would say, 80% of the traffic is going to go out to Route 10, or maybe 90%. I don't want to do the math. Very little traffic is going to go down Hillside because it's a long way to get to 206. And once you get to Route 10,
one second. Councilman Robbins.
Correct, but I'm looking at peak hour traffic. You know, other non-peak hour times, people would go down to Ryder Road, to the fields, to your recreational facilities, but that would be the peak hour. And that's part of the reason why the peak hour traffic is lower. We do have, obviously, staff associated with this. The staff shifts are, for the most part, morning peak hour. They're in by 7 o'clock. The overnight shift, which is the smallest shift, would be leaving after 7. They might be ones making right to go home, but the residents, for the most part, you know, are not going out during the peak hours because they can choose when they need to go someplace. And they're not going to want to fight the traffic. The traffic at Route 10, I would say about half of it heads east on Route 10. A little bit goes to the north, going across Route 10 towards Route 46. And the rest goes west on Route 10. And this is all based on the existing traffic patterns that exist today. The traffic looked at it, he found it to be reasonable, and I know you'll ask him to weigh in.
We will, but we're going to call you there to get some attendance from the board. So you have to wrap you guys up.
Understood.
Once we get the flavor, get some questions, so we can come back, we can hammer through again. This on that. My intent to get this teed up. Board member, we have any questions for
Yeah, shoot, you said the DOT has.
County. The county has access to jurisdiction over South Hills.
What does it take for the county to say, okay, we're not, it has to be that?
No, it depends on, I mean, we have to have access provided, you know, to the site. South Hillside is the appropriate location for it. They look at it very carefully. Trust me, I've had a lot of applications before the Morris County Planning Board. They don't just rubber stamp it, they look at it. Is the site distance sufficient? Yes, it is. You know, are the traffic volumes consistent and able to be accommodated on this roadway? Yes, they do look at it.
Good job.
Just also quick thing, box count, but so you're saying that the county, of all the possible places you could put that driveway, they're saying that's the right place to put it?
Yeah.
That's the best place to put it.
It's the best place to put it. You know, obviously this site has topography to it. You know, the building and the parking area around it is about 20 feet above South Hillside. We have to have an appropriate grade to get from South Hillside. South Hillside is pretty flat.
Yeah, I didn't want to use this now, but
Okay.
I will say that I'm going to want to hear a lot more about where that driveway is, how we got to that.
Understood. I heard that at the last
That's
meeting.
the best place.
Mr. Riley?
Sir, could we just get a copy for the next meeting of the county approval? And is the submission to the county identical to the submission received?
Well, we have revised the plans since we submitted to the county. Mostly on stormwater, not on access or anything like that.
I'm talking about the traffic. Is the traffic report submitted to the county identical to the documents submitted to this plan?
Yes.
So there's no change in what
No.
was submitted to the county?
Correct.
Can we get a copy of the county's approval?
The town should have it, but we're happy to provide it.
I didn't know.
Mr. Westwood, please wait after the mic.
The question that you mentioned that the county determined that this was the best, I think you said the best location for that turn the entrance. What I'm interested in is how many options did you present to the town that they reviewed?
Well, let me clarify. We presented this decision as to where it was is based on a lot of factors. And the county acted upon the one that we had. So you didn't come back and say, well, what, I think you should put it over here.
So you presented one option.
That is correct.
Okay, so really there weren't many options. They reviewed the one option you showed.
Because this is the appropriate option. They did not say, we did not present, we didn't give them a multiple choice as to where the.
So it's possible they may have brought another spot, but you don't know, because you didn't present that, correct?
Well, they had no issue with the access location that we.
I'm asking if you looked at other options.
We looked at other options,
Yeah,
yeah.
you decided.
Correct.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Westwood. Joe. But, again, we're gonna get at one time. Well, always good.
I'll wait.
Yeah, I just wanted to get this, so we're gonna be back here. And I'm gonna, yeah, Russ, I'm
I
sorry.
think the public had a question like, why can't you get to a Route 10 access? Did you just tell them why that wasn't?
We got the time.
Well, you don't have the time. So I know you're pushing for that and you're going over here, but I'm sitting here a long time. We're closing up here. I'm gonna open this to the public. What I'm trying to do is get them teed up to ask you questions that are here and get us here so we can get here today. Officially, that's not your back. And so I'm gonna open this up to the public. I wish you'd come up and just touch on a quick question. I'm gonna put a time on you because I have to get to another application tonight. There will be plenty of time to talk to this witness at the next meeting, because he will be back.
Yes.
Okay, so come up, state your name and your address.
Hi, Danielle Data, 7 South Hillside. I do have a lot of questions, but I know we gotta move on. So just the one that comes to mind is for the next meeting, you mentioned 35 total in and out during peak hours into the building, 45 PM. I just want to know how you came up with those numbers, and I want a breakdown, if you can provide, of what's included. You mentioned deliveries, waste. I would like a breakdown.
So it's based upon data published by the Institute of Transportation Engineers and their trip generation manual, 11th edition. It's based on actual studies of actual operating facilities. There is not a breakdown of, well, there's this many cars, this many trucks. It is a total number, which is what the chairman is. The board secretary is a copy of our traffic report, and the trip generation is presented in table 2.
I'm asking for possibly a summary of that. You threw out deliveries. What else could that include? Those numbers?
It would include all traffic to and from this facility. Staff, deliveries, visitors, the residents, anything that would be generated by that building.
And that number is in a total number. You were looking for a number of each individual breakdown.
No, I guess, I'm sorry.
They do it as a total.
Correct.
Yeah, not specific delivery number. I just wanted to know like the descriptions of like possibly like not beyond delivery, beyond waste. I mean, do you have like a mailman going in?
Any trip, because this is based on actual counts of existing facilities, they don't report what the vehicles were. They just count the number of vehicles. So it includes anything that could go to a building.
So like the size could be, I mean, there could be multiple tractor trailers.
I can tell you there's no tractor trailer deliveries coming in.
No, like Cisco food trailers coming in?
They will have small trucks, they won't be tractor trailers coming in. We will have walk-in coolers and storage facilities in the commercial kitchen, so there won't be deliveries of tractor trailers coming in.
And Mr. Chairman, if I could add, in that number is mainly any possible residents that may be moving at those hours. It's mainly employees. assisted living. In addition to the 7 a.m. shift, they do have office people come in more during the rush hours. It's employees and residents.
Yeah, obviously I've lived on a hillside for many years. The traffic is, I mean, I have to wait 5-10 minutes sometimes to back out of my own driveway. Obviously I knew it was a high congestion living there. I digress, but yeah, the concern is during the school year, because that 7 a.m. shift is pretty much when the traffic starts for the high school. That's not that far down the street. So, I don't want to hold you guys up, so I'll save questions for next time.
Get them in there, do your research, and we come back here next meeting, you will be back.
Okay, sounds good,
Anyone
thank
else in
you.
the public has a question that, be sure to end?
Yes, sorry, Donna Francis, 11 Beaman Place. Mine is traffic and safety. Like you drive downhill, so the traffic is huge. When you drive down South Hillside now, there's really no shoulder. The telephone poles are kind of butt right up against the property. If there's any, like your senior citizen property, there's going to be ambulances necessary to go in and out. There's nowhere to move. Is there any like plans to at least like put a shoulder on that side of Hillside Avenue, push back the telephone poles? There has to be safety in here, which I'm sure you guys haven't got to yet. But
That's a county issue. The county did not require anything.
But traffic doesn't, so maybe the township needs to consider traffic and safety, because that's kind of absurd. That's right, the county doesn't care about safety?
I didn't say that, ma'am.
Sorry.
What I said was the county looked at this, the county did not require any improvements, and they actually specifically indicated that they did not want curb along the side of Hillside Avenue because it affects the drainage. So they specifically stated that there was, typically the county wants curb along their roadways. They specifically stated that it was not required for this project.
We'll get to
We'll
that
get
later.
Just curious, what about sidewalks?
They did not require those either.
Doesn't mean they prohibited it, they just did not request it.
I have to look at the approval.
They asked, but
It was specifically stated in the letter. I printed it out and it's sitting in the printer in my office, so I don't wanna guess at what it said.
To be determined.
To be determined,
yeah,
and since I'll be back, I
send
can.
that over. Is there another question?
Well, just another, like, people walk there all the time from the high school. If you live in that area, you are not bused. So again, if you could consider the safety of that, and no sidewalks, that's, yeah, another thing to look at.
Thank you. Anyone else in the public have a question, or testimony that was given?
Bernadette Krumka, 25 South Hillside Avenue. I'm wondering why the existing entrance to that property wasn't considered.
It's too close to the intersection and it's not a safe location.
But people have to come through that intersection to get to it anyway.
The location of the driveway is where there's a northbound left turn lane. County would not permit a driveway for this facility to be located in that area. Because the driveway already exists, doesn't mean that it's right. It doesn't mean that it's, I'm sure this board has weighed in, okay, it's been there for 50 years. Well, that doesn't mean that we should continue something that is not safe or consistent with current design practices. That's why, one of the reasons why we did not pick that location for the driveway.
Because I've never seen any accidents over there, so I don't know how you're saying it's not safe.
It's not a highway anymore, it's not highway traffic used, so it's very close to the intersection.
Okay, but there's already a turn-off lane right there, you can turn right into that driveway.
It's not necessarily going in that's the issue, though it is, somebody headed east on Route 10, comes off, and I know there's a driveway on Route 10. I'm digressing. It's not a safe location for a driveway for this facility.
Okay, so how did you determine how far off of 10 to put the driveway?
I think this is next meeting, unless you want me to.
No,
I'm not trying to.
No, probably.
Never mind, he doesn't wanna answer, that's fine.
No, I'm gonna answer it.
Well, I can make
It's a half-hour answer,
but
that's the problem.
it's gonna be a long, it's gonna be a long one.
Well, I hope it's not half an hour.
I only tried to touch to give the
I'll
public a
wait
little
till
bit,
next
so if you can table that, I'm sure you'll be back at the next meeting. Any other questions that we can give the professional here that they can work on, while they're waiting for their next meeting? But take that into account, make sure you have that answered for her.
I have it already. I was prepared to answer it. I was hoping they'd have
I have a
time.
question, regarding that wall, where they want to come on. Like I said, there's a very narrow road there, and then the wall is there, and then there's these special bishop papers. They were specially made, they were supposed to be not destroyed, but when they tore down the mansion that was in that property owned by Henry Martin Tucker in 2007, they destroyed it. And then the Porfirio families,
That's
they
water under the bridge. Chris, you have a question for the traffic professional here?
Well, it's that, there's a rugged area, you can't even walk down the road or ride a bike. And then you have a high school, the kids come. So when somebody has an accident there, one of those kids is severely injured or maybe unalive, remember, it's gonna be your fault.
All right, anyone else in the public? You're not close public professionals, any other quick questions, you can send them off with.
But we have a question of when the next hearing.
So, I'm looking at the schedule here. We are, September 18th, we are booked October 9th, booked October 16th.
October 16th,
We're booked October 16th. I just said that.
We're booked.
We're booked.
That's good, so am I.
Yeah, good. So November 6th is your next open date.
November
6th. Do we need an extension, Robbie?
Jay, are you available?
Yes.
What are your chances we get a better portion of that meeting?
Well, you'll probably be first up.
It depends on whether or not the application,
Well, first means you're first to be heard, but also first out the door, right?
You've been around a while. November 6th. Okay.
Thank you
All right,
very
thank you
much.
for your time. Be safe going home. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You will give us an extension.
Yes.
And thank you, Mr. Mellon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, I hate to rush you down. I know you have a lot of work to do. Moving on, PDA. What's that?
He's not on the next day.
For the record, Mr. Burgess is leaving at 9:26. Thank you. I'll see you later. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Please, I almost forgot my phone. We're going to keep this live going, and we're going down the road to a burial mound right now. We're going to walk out of this place, and I'm going to show you where there's a burial mound within 300 yards. Hi. You heard my text. American Indians are 26 about these properties. Let's see where we're at, everybody that's still here. Thank you for being here. So we're going to go take a walk in a second. And we're going to go walk to a burial mound. That's how close we are to burial mound. We're going to show you the burial mound. And I'll be able to talk to you more. But this is a total shit show. They don't want to recognize that there's bodies here. Hold on a second. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go to burial. I'm gonna go to a small. I'm not gonna go up in the mountain because the park is closed basically after sunset. Oh yeah. Let me see what my power is at. 35%. I think I got enough to go through the woods. All right, buddy. Careful. Yeah, and I believe. Look, between you and me. Sure.
Someone stole something from you. I knew it. I didn't know it was not related to this.
I'm not a fucking thief. Never heard anyone. Look how friendly we are here last time. My ancestors were fucking Washington. You were the All right, guys, we're gonna go take a walk. Let me just get my stuff in my. We're gonna go to a mount. We're going to a burial mound. Oh, you got to wait for me, right?
No. I want to talk to you.
Okay. Well, it's amazing history.
You got another follower because my buddy followed me.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, there's amazing history.
Oh my gosh, he has 1,400 videos. Are you
Bro,
1,400 videos?
There's so many freaking artifacts in this shit I've discovered here, bro.
He's like, he did the Giants one. He's like, oh my gosh, I have 1,400 more to launch.
There are so many shorts and long ones. So I'm going right down here. So this was right across the street here is where the Mooney Mountain is.
Yeah, I know.
And we got a full moon tonight.
Look at that.
And we're going over to the burial mound that's across the street here. And actually, there's saber-tooth tigers. There's freaking woolly mammoths. Every kind of carving right across the street there. Right across there.
Good luck. Just be careful.
Yeah, I am.
Don't fall out twisted. You don't want to.
No, they have.
You got your phone. But
Yeah, they banned me. Yeah, no, I'm going to be right. I'm right.
What?
Go down 46 and where the bend is.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
There's a mound there. Huge mound with sinkholes and
We'll find something new tonight.
There's I'm not stealing any tomb stuff.
No. We find stuff.
Oh, no, I already did. It's amazing.
First, I'll see you.
Yeah, have a good one. All right. But remember, there's bodies in the tunnel system, and under state law, if you tell an officer, please help out if you can. All right, guys. I got somebody here in my. I don't know who this is. If he wants to unmute. Somebody's been in here. So we're going to take a walk down the road here. But we're going to go to a burial mound. If you can all see, I got my headlamp on. We're going to go some exploring tonight for a little bit where there's a burial mound right across the street. This is the Roxbury Township Municipal Building. And across the street is the biggest pyramid burial mound in the world, I believe, and it's called Mooney Mountain, and there's massive entrances. But we're not going to head up the mountain today where the serpent mounds are and the serpent heads. We're going to go to a smaller mound that I believe that is 8,000 to 20,000 BC. It's a younger mound because these other giant mounds that are here are really old and really big, and the artifacts are massive. So is everybody still there? I want to see if I can. Oh, sorry, I got some requesters I wasn't seeing. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see if she's still there.
Still here. I'm
you there,
watching you
Twister?
like a hawk. Yeah.
Hey.
Watching you like a hawk.
I don't have my ear things in, so I got the highway here, but we're going to go over to a burial mound right now.
Did you hear them say that they're going to work with you? They're going to try to work with you?
Bunch of fucking bullshit. They keep having the meetings to figure out what kind of shingles, what kind of paint they're going to do, all the landscaping. How are you going to do that on top of a 1,000-foot tunnel system with ex-slave soldiers from the Civil War?
Well, they're going to do it because they can. You know this.
Oh, wow, where are all these people coming from? I got people coming in my life. I have no idea.
So, Chris, I am proud but a little bit saddened you didn't take your breath like I asked you to. When he said, I'll take your pictures at that point, what I would have done, I would have said, okay, thank you. Could you please tell me who I really should be turning these into? I found ignorance with them into a lot further. Play dumb. Be like, okay, well, I'm sorry. Could you please help me?
Yep.
That's what I would have done.
You play nice.
I got a little bit of a thing against these people because they persecuted me on March 3rd, 2022 and banned me because I called the coroner's office of bodies I found in a tunnel system.
Yeah, but Chris, that was then. You gotta let it go.
I know, but these people still
Gotta
know
be
who I
humble.
am. And I think I was
Gotta
pretty
be
firm.
humble.
I think I did pretty good today in saying what's there and not let that guy run over me and not let me speak.
Well, I got news for you, my friend. The Popo went and moved right in front of the camera on us. And all we
Yep.
could hear was you and him, are not the Popo, the councilman, arguing.
Yeah, he doesn't like me.
No, and you can see, but he did say he's willing to accept stuff from you. So you need to let the negative
Yeah, I know.
go.
Because when they have a board meeting, you go there with information. They're like, "Oh, you can't give information."
No,
And then there's
they're
no,
always
and their website, you can't get any email for planning board members. You have to come in and get a
Right,
phone.
but Chris, we need you to take a step back. You're seeing the negative side of the picture instead of the positive side of the picture. Instead
yeah,
of
no, I
hearing and
don't think.
looking at the but he was willing to take those pictures. You should have said, "Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for at least allowing me this opportunity and for you recognizing me." If you're humble, you get a lot further, I promise you.
Yep.
Individuals that are demonized and reptilians, I am not nice to them.
It's not about that, Chris. We know
Sorry.
they're out of here. They know they hold no power, but they also know you can't move anywhere without them. You're playing chess. They're giving you a pawn right now while you go after their queen. Do you understand? They're
Yeah.
playing nice with you.
Well, they have to because I'm getting a lot of attention. I've got 4 million views on TikTok now.
Well, that's great. Okay. But my problem is this, pal. There were people from South Hillside Avenue there, and not one of them stood up for you.
Nobody, because Adrian, my ex-landlord, went around and told everybody I'm fucking crazy, and everything I discovered is nothing.
Yeah.
Because she's got her shit parked on the property of the property owners, and she's friends with them. Because she lived there in 2007 when everything was robbed. And then her husband overdosed just like the guy in the mansion did later on.
Yep, exactly.
So we're going to show you something here. This is where the ancient canal used to come through. I'm getting down to the edge here. It's pretty wild. So there was an ancient canal, and this, we're going to show you across the street here. You can see, I'm going to cross this. This is Route 46. It's actually an ancient ley line, and we're going to go up here. I'm going to just show you a few. A few saber-tooth tiger, woolly mammoth carvings that are right here by the edge of the road. Check this out. Look how close I am by the road, right? Here we are. Here's the boulders for the giants. I mean, you don't have to go far to find these guys. And these are all carved. We need to find some of these. Where's the saber-tooth tiger guy? He's over here somewhere.
I like that.
Yeah, here he is. This is cool being up on the. This is the base of the mountain here. I don't know if you can see it, but this goes way up and it's all boulders because it's an ancient pyramid. So here's some boulders here. Here's a mammoth. See that mammoth guy? Can you see that?
Yep.
See how it's carved here into a mammoth head?
Yeah.
And this has got like a bird. These are all granite crystal. Beautiful headstone markers. And I don't know if it was when they put the Hayu in, they threw some of them up here, but these are all the ones on the base of the pyramid here. And we're going to go down to another mound because this one is just too dangerous for me to climb up right now. You have to have like almost mountain climbing gear to get up this to these entrances are. But these are all big giant cut boulders. See how it's all sharp? Look at that thing. You see that? Pretty wild, right? And then there's a saber-tooth tiger over here somewhere. He's in here somewhere, mixed in. I think this is him here. Yeah. He's cut. No. I don't know if that's him. And then there's other big giant spearheads. You see this stone here? This is one of their giant, like, stones. They cut all these stones. They're all carved. Every one of them. So I figured I'd be up here let's go up here and film. Right? So now we're going to go down another burial mound. And I'm going to cross the highway again. We're going to go to another burial mound. But first, check this out. Now, they built this place in here. I'm going to walk in. There's like a hotel place over here. But check this out. There used to be a pond in here. An ancient pond. And it comes around. Here's the creek. So this whole area here used to be all one big giant pond. Now check this out from the ancient giants. There's a megalithic dam over here. And then here's their boulders. These are giant cut artifacts. Check out this dam over here. And there's it's really cool. It's all done by the giants. All this was done by the giants. All these boulders and stuff. Because there's a really cool dam over here. Look at the giant artifacts. Because they made this dam. You see the dam here? It comes around. Check out this megalithic dam. And these giants. I don't know if you can see it. Let's go down inside here. And this is the creek that comes off the pyramid. You see these boulders up here? This was all placed here to be a dam. And then there's a wall up there, like a megalithic wall up on the side there for the entrance for this that comes down here. And actually, when I was up here a couple weeks ago, I was down here in the creek bed. Check out this. Who wants to see a serpentine spearhead from the giants? Look at that puppy. That thing is so amazing, right? So I believe that the giants placed these here because this is the base of the pyramid, right? So they had a roadway coming up, the other side's thing, and then they had water on this side, and this is what the giants did. So we're going to take a walk up to the next mound. Does anybody got anything to say? See if we can find.
Yeah, I do. You had someone commenting that she is willing to talk with them about your findings. Anthropologist.
Well, sorry, hold on, let me just turn up the volume. What was that again?
Anthropologist was in your live earlier talking and saying that she's willing to talk with them.
Oh, okay. That would be great.
I have to go back through because I got bumped out a few times and I can't find it.
Oh, okay. All right, we're going to go to a really cool burial mound. It's one of the most distinct ones I've found. When you see the carvings of these boulders, and then there's sinkholes, there's entrances to the mounds, and it is so close to civilization because this roadway is an ancient roadway that the ancient giants used. They had roadways, they had canal systems, and right down there is where the canal used to cross. The old Mars Canal, which was, I believe, based on the evidence I found, an ancient giants canal system that was revamped in 1825 in 7 years. 107 miles long. It's a long thing. So we're going to go up here. Here's the mound. Who's ready to see a freaking amazing mound right on the side of the highway? I mean, here we are. Here's the mound. I'll show you where it starts. It's like flat as a pancake. Well, it goes up a little bit, and then there's these all tiered mounds. It's like a mini pyramid. And then all that rock, it's kind of hard to see it on the other side of the wall here. There's all these boulders for the side of the mountain because there is Mooney Mountain. Mooney Mountain Pyramid with the most amazing burials I've ever seen in my life. So here we come up here to a telephone pole they dug in, and then there's granite crystal artifacts from the giants. Oh, and there's spearheads. Oh, how can that be? Because the giants were here. This is the burial right here. So let's go down to this burial. And I'm trying to get recognition for it because right along the highway, Who knows? The town may want to come in here one day and put a soccer field in the corner. I don't know. They did that in Parsippany. They built all these soccer fields over these ancient sites. And, oh my God. I like to cover it up. All right, here we are. Here we're coming down to the mountain, more boulders. We're going to be in for a really cool show here, guys. And maybe the blueberries that are on top of the mountains are done. As you're coming up through the boulders. And here's the mound. This is one of the entrances. That's closed off. That's all rocks. All artifacts. All these stones here. These are all stones, and they're all granite crystal because they covered their mounds with giant artifacts of granite crystal, just like when they built pyramids, right? Granite crystal covering everything. Look at the crystal. And you see the crystals on these giant spearheads? Look at these artifacts.
That's amazing, yeah. That's truly amazing.
They're amazing. So this is just going up the hill. Here's like a big giant spearhead. See it? These mounds are like the She People mounds in... Oh, look at that spearhead. Hear that, baby? Because the whole hillside is their artifacts to protect the burials below. It's an amazing way they did it, right? You build a chamber. Go ahead.
Hey, Chris, are you in New Jersey or are you staying the night tonight?
Oh, I'm staying. We got a place where I'm staying.
Good.
Now check this out. I can't really hear people very well. My volume is horrible. So I'm up here on top of this mound. You see the cars going by? I say it's about 30 foot up. Okay? And you come across, it's all mounded and rocks on top, and then there's this massive sinkhole. Look at this sinkhole here. This is a huge depression in the ground because the mound, and then there's another hole right down here that's going down in. So the chamber of this burial that I'm over the top of collapsed. You see, it's all artifacts. All giant artifacts. So this big, let me get down on my knee here. You can see it's all indented. I'm in the hole. And then here's marker boulder. So it means there's a grave site that collapsed a while ago. And then it's this mounded. Here's the top of the mountain. It runs along this ridge. And then inside there's all these burials and there's sinkholes where other burials collapsed. Some more marker stones up here. It's even higher over here. It's almost 40 feet up. Here's another one of their big giant marker stones. And I know it's a carved artifact because you get a bird head. Okay? Glaciers don't do that. And glaciers don't put their giant artifacts. Pretty cool, right? So this is like on the top and now the mountain goes down. You can see how far down the lights are. So I'm up about 40 feet now as the mound stayed level. As the road dropped, the mound continues up, being a level area with a slight pitch going down with the road pitch. And then there's huge sinkholes over here. And we have other things in here too. Some of these stones have pieces of steel still stuck in them. Now this is another huge area. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to go down in this gully that ends right here. So there's this pathway with all these beautiful stones all stacked on the sides, right? So you have stones all stacked along the side, and then stones all stacked along the side, and then you have an entrance that's, where is it? Where's the entrance, right? There should be an entrance here. So we're going to follow this down, and we're going to get down to the, I think it's a leopard. I think it's a leopard face. And then there's some more big giant boulders, and a lot of their boulders all have that. Big overhang stones, right? To like leave their face overhanging the edge. Here's another one here. Amazing stone. This one here, clearly megalithic cut. You see the face? Sharp flat edge down this edge. Sharp flat edge down this edge. I mean, this is cut by the giants. Straight lines. And it's supposed to be this face with ahead, overhanging the edge. And then here's the mound. And then the mound goes down here. And then it's kind of funky over here. It's like it drops down again. It goes up this mound with all these rocks, and back up on another high pointed mound with no collapsing. And then here's the main entrance for more tombs over here. Watch when we drop down here. Be careful too, because these are all giant artifacts. Everywhere you go, granite crystal, beautiful granite crystal artifacts. And you see these? Look at that. Look at these artifacts from the giants. Real artifacts from the giants. And you don't have to go to the Grand Canyon. All you have to do is travel 30 miles west of New York City. And anytime anybody wants to go on a tour, we'll take them on a tour and show them the giants' burials, giant artifacts. And I even have some private properties where you can even collect artifacts. You make a small fee to the property owner for collecting some of their artifacts, and you'll be on your way with some giant crystal artifacts. And being able to film this stuff, these burials. Now here's a leopard face. Can you see that? Can anyone comment on that one? It's like a giant bone scraper with a face on it. It'll sound crazy, but this edge is sharp as can be. All the way up here. All the way up. Razor sharp. And then you have this cutout, and then you have this big nose. Beautiful nose. It's like it almost looks like a leopard face, but it might be for the lion or whatever this guy is. I'm not really sure, but this stone, that stone, and all these stones here. And look at this. Stones with carving, drill marks from the ancient giants. Actual drill marks in the stones at the edge of the tomb. See the tomb here? Another mound. And all these beautiful granite crystal stones, all stacked along the edge.
It's all sacred burial grounds.
Isn't that cool? And here's the ape face here.
Yeah, I can see it. I can make it out.
Somebody's microphone is. Can you mute him? Okay, thank you. And then look, we'll go down here. Here's the hill. And you go down here, it's like a pathway. Beautiful mound. Little mound with grass on top, with beautiful stones, and then marker stones where the entrance is. Pretty simple. Once you find one, it's taken me a long time to figure this out, what they did. But once you find one burial, holy crap, they're everywhere. You can find every one of them. And then you can see what the Masons did. Look at that mound going up there. It goes up about 30 feet. And it's rounded. It goes all the way around. It's like a rounded mound. And it may be a figure too, because at the top, where we're going to head up there now, there's a whole bunch of blueberry bushes. This is really cool here. And all these stones, every one was moved by the giants. This wall was placed here for the burials, because you can see there's carvings. This is all carved. And this is the one that has a bird up here. Here's a bird point. You got a little bird point there. Is the video coming out okay? More artifacts are just strewn across the hillsides. It is granite crystal artifacts. Everywhere you go. Here's a big one. Another big spearhead. All right. Anybody got any questions? Come over here and look at these artifacts that were left up here. This is a face one. Face on this side. This is what they did with these big stones. And it's beautiful on this side. It doesn't have the discoloration of all this stuff. So it's nice about these artifacts. When you flip them over, they're beautiful. And then there's another road right here. So another roadway. Here's another marker stone. This is the edge of the mound. Look at this puppy. Big, black, beautiful granite crystal. marker boulder here. And then the mound goes down. And the mound goes all the way around. And continues all the way around. And we're going to follow up on this side of the fence because there's a lot more to see. I want to find, there's a huge guy with a giant head. See another big sinkhole here. There's sinkholes all over the place. I'm a woodsman. I know it's natural, it's not natural. And all the mounds that I found on Long Island, all the mounds. And this is a huge sinkhole. Another sinkhole here. Drops down about 3 feet, 4 feet. Goes down in this big mound. It collapsed. There's like mounds all within inside of a big serpent mound that goes around the outside. There's more stones there, marker stones. And then, where's the other ones? Oh yeah. I love it here. I mean, they did such an amazing thing, right? To be able to experience ancient giant burials. Look at that. This is an amazing one. This stone here is sitting up on one stone carved into a hand. Isn't that cool? There's like a stone down there that looks like it's got some fingers on it. And then this puppy is really amazing. Check out that dinosaur carving. Isn't that amazing? I think it's amazing. And it was placed here. So let's decide, let me see if I can go over what's here. So we got an eyeball up here for the face of like this dinosaur. And he's wearing a cap. And on the back of the cap is a skull of a guy with his arm coming down. See his arm? And he's riding the back side of this dinosaur. With this crazy looking, you know. Does anybody know what that is? You can come out. Well, I'll sit here for a minute if you guys want to come off mute. What do you think? What do you guys think this is? Is it a dinosaur?
Looks like a dinosaur to me.
Right? Because right down the road is where there's dinosaur carvings. But I don't think this is as old as the ones across the street are ancient. I mean, really big. No, any ideas? And then we go around this side. It's all carved here too. You see all the carve marks, and then look. The Giants had drills. Look at that! Another drill hole. Ancient drill hole from the Giants, perfectly round. Because a lot of these stones that I've been finding for these boulders, the Giants, they were all cut and split. And let's go check over here. I think there's some special boulders. They're like evolution boulders. Like I found one with a nub. Meaning, just like the nubs on the walls, they can't figure out what they're from. I believe they're the noses of the Giants that used to put all their faces on the stones. So instead of putting your face on a boulder, like this. Oh, let's look at this one first, sorry. This is a lion. Kind of like a lion. You see it? What Anunnaki god was in the, or is this a dinosaur too? I don't know. Do you see the eye up here? And the headpiece going back? Is it coming out okay?
There
Yeah, you
it
see
goes,
it.
Chris. I see it.
Okay. Because it's pretty amazing. And then it's all cut here and painted. And there might have been some paintings here. Some sort of rock art paintings. See it? Ancient Anunnaki Giants paintings. See it? Because this stone has no other, you know, they had this special black paint. I have artifacts that are covered in this black paint it's really amazing paint. So, I'm going to wipe the sweat out of my eyes and we're going to head over to this burial mound right here. Here it is. There's a mound on top of all the mounds. And this one had all these amazing blueberries a few weeks ago. And let's see if they're ripe. Oh, I think they're ready for picking. They Amazing blueberry bushes on this one mound. No blueberries anywhere, but this one mound has these bushes that are loaded with big. This thing was completely full last week, 2 weeks ago, and most of them were gone because the birds have been, once they turn a little purple, they come and eat them. And I just picked one that was a little green still, and it's not tart. So the birds have been eating them. And it looks like the bear was here. Something was here. Look at this. All my branches are broken. Look at that. There must have been a bear here. Because I was here a couple weeks ago, and these branches weren't broken. Like somebody knocked the branch down trying to take the blueberries off. And here's a mound. Go up this mound here. There's a cedar tree on it. Because, does anyone know why there would be a cedar tree in the middle of the woods growing here? It would take an idea why there could be a cedar tree that only grows when there's full sunlight. Because this mound never had vegetation on it. Meaning there's so many rocks here, trees can't grow. So this area got a cedar tree, and if we have a really bad dry summer, it will probably unalive. And then maybe another one will grow again another day. And that's this other mound. It's pretty wild what's here. And I'm going to be going home in a little bit, but I just want to share this with everyone, just to feel the experience. Like we can go over here by this big one, this lion one, and I'm going to calm down. I'll take my shoes off. I'm going to ground a little bit before I go home. I'll do that right now. Here we go. Come over here, the rocks. I mean, it's amazing, right? When you got these rocks, and this was carved by someone to mark the ancient burials that are here. I got my shoes off. I'm walking around barefoot. It's great. And then there's some other ones here. There's a nub stone over here somewhere. Look how this one's all cut. Look how it's all carved. Because it's supposed to be something. It's probably a face on this side, another something here. Let's see if I can find the nub stones. Gotta be careful, there's some glass here. Walk around barefoot, I'll end up cutting my foot open.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get my shoes on.
Chris,
these
you
freaking
gotta
people
start
with a
doing
beard.
lives again during the day.
What's that?
You gotta start doing lives during the day again.
Yeah, I just been busy with the research, there's been so much exploring. Here's another burial here. You see the stone? And you see how there's a sinkhole? Burial. Like they came up here and they made a mound, and then they put their burials. Everybody kept putting their burials, put another stone, put their artifacts. Maybe dig another hole and build another little chamber. Right? Let's see if there's any artifacts over here. A lot of times their artifacts are just everywhere around these boulders. But they're over there on the side. There's just so many of them. There's so many artifacts in Roxbury. I lost count in Wharton too. So, all right, I want to thank everybody for watching, and everybody has given me support and encouragement. I really appreciate it. And then you give me also confirmations, a lot of you, which is amazing, of me discovering these things, and then people that I've been meeting actually have had experiences that make confirmations to what I've been discovering. That's what's really amazing. So, all right, well, thank you, everyone. And this might be a big buffalo head. Kind of with the hair. It has like a hair piece, and then the face is always along the edge. And they would put one eyeball, so when you look at it if you looked at it straight on, it almost looks like a cyclops, right? And then they say, oh, the giants were all petrified. Well, no. This is a boulder, I believe. Well, it is a boulder, and it's granite crystal, and it was placed here and brought here, and it's not some petrified giant. It's just their marker stone for their burials. It's the same thing we do today in the cemeteries, right?
That's amazing. You can see the whole face.
All right, I'm going to head back, but if you guys want to discuss it all when I'm walking for the next 5 minutes, or I'm just going to end the live now, and it's up to you. And I appreciate you coming on here.
Well, we're very proud of you, Chris. Thank you so much for letting us be a part of this experience tonight. It's progress. You got your pictures taken. Hopefully, if he reaches out to you, he'll have some clarification for you as to who you need to properly be speaking with about all of your information. So I look at tonight, even though...
Yeah, I know they accepted it tonight. But the thing is they've gotten in my emails, over 50 emails sent to all the township officials, including police department, and I haven't got one response back from Roxbury Township at all.
Right, but look at it like this. You had how many people in your room watching and hearing them say, we will take it? And then him saying there's a proper way. He said he should reach out to you and let you know who that is. He said he didn't have that information offhand, but he said he'll help you. So give him a couple of days and then maybe reach out and say, hey, I know you received my pictures. I'm just following up to see, do you have that contact information for me? And leave it at that, okay?
Yeah. Well, the thing is this is the 4th meeting and the first time they've taken my information. Because they don't want me to be here. They banned me. I mean, these township officials, the township manager, and then there's a tax assessor woman, her name is Heidi. And it's kind of amazing how, what happened to Jesus with the tax assessor? Does anybody know the stories of what happened with Jesus with the tax assessor?
Good point, Chris. Good point.
I had the same experience with a tax assessor. And then they freaking came and took me away. Because I was doing the right thing. Reporting burials of unmarked burials in the woods, you know?
You're dealing with powers and principalities, remember.
Yeah. All right, I think I'm going to end the live because I gotta walk back to where I'm going to get picked up. So that's all.